Namo Buddhaya, Namo Amitabha. Hello everyone. So today I feel like talking about how to generate bodhicitta. So we talked about before what is bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is this awakening mind that strives for the perfect enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. So bodhicitta is really the core teaching in Mahayana Buddhism. It is the defining quality of whether one is really genuinely walking on the Mahayana path. Even if one may practice a form of Mahayana Buddhism, but if one has not generated bodhicitta yet, one is actually not really taking up the Bodhisattva path, the Mahayana path. And that is why bodhicitta is so important. We cannot emphasize this enough. For Mahayana Buddhists, what is the most important thing? First it is bodhicitta. And why is this so important? The Buddha kept telling us in the sutra, without generating bodhicitta, one cannot really become a bodhisattva, and hence one cannot really realize the perfect enlightenment. If one doesn't have bodhicitta, one cannot really realize Buddhahood. One can never become a Buddha without generating bodhicitta. For Pure Land practitioners, if we don't generate bodhicitta now, the first lesson for us when we attain rebirth in the Pure Land, it would really be this. It would be about bodhicitta. Bodhisattva Guan Yin, Mahatma Prapta, this great bodhisattva will first teach you to generate bodhicitta. Now, it will be even better if we can know how to generate bodhicitta now. So how exactly can we generate bodhicitta? So the Buddha told us in the Avatamsaka Sutra, the last chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra, the practices and vows of Bodhisattva Samantabhadra. So this is also one of the 5 Pure Land Sutras in Chinese Pure Land Buddhism. The great compassionate heart is the essence of all the Buddha's Tathagatas. Because of living beings, they bring forth great compassion. From great compassion, they generate the bodhicitta. And because of bodhicitta, they realized the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment. It's like a great king tree growing in the rocks and sand of a barren wilderness. If the roots obtain water, the branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits will all flourish. The Bodhi tree king growing in the wilderness of birth and death is also the same. All living beings are its roots. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are its flowers and fruits. By benefiting all living beings with the water of great compassion, one can realize the wisdom of flowers and fruits of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Why is this so? If all Bodhisattvas benefit living beings with the water of great compassion, they can attain Anuttaya Sanya Sambodhi, the perfect enlightenment. Therefore, Bodhi belongs to living beings. Without living beings, no bodhisattva could perfect the unsurpassed supreme enlightenment. So it's really from great compassion that one gives rise to bodhicitta. And how can we get this great compassion? So this is also within us. It is through living beings, through realizing the oneness in all living beings, through understanding that all living beings have the same Buddha nature. We are in essence the same, although on the form we look all different, but the essence of who we are is really the same. We all have this Buddha nature, this awakened nature that's within all beings. So when we see the suffering of other sentient beings, it is as if they are also our own sufferings. If we can see the oneness in all things and all beings, then we can give rise to this great compassionate heart. And the Buddha told us that because we've been in the cycle of reincarnation for so long, countless eons, there isn't a living being in the cycle of reincarnation who hasn't been our past lives, parents, relatives, brothers, sisters, families, etc. So all of you who are watching this video now, we have definitely all been family members in our past lives. So really seeing how we are all connected, the interdependent connection in all things and all beings. We are not separated. Through understanding this, one can give rise to the great compassionate heart. So it is because of living beings that one gives rise to the great compassionate heart. And because of this great compassionate heart, one generates this bodhicitta. And because of bodhicitta, one realized the perfect enlightenment. So that is how one actually realized Buddhahood. It is through generating bodhicitta, taking up the bodhisattva path, and through help saving all sentient beings, then one realizes the perfect enlightenment. And sometimes people may be like, oh, it could also be like an egoistic thing to think that you are like the savior of the world and you want to help all sentient beings. This can be also an egoistic statement. And so how can a bodhisattva overcome that? And also some people say, I have great compassion. I suffer so much when I see other people suffer, or I feel so sad, so depressed when I see other people are suffering. So how can bodhisattvas not being affected by anything? So although the bodhisattva give rise to this great compassionate heart to generate this unsurpassed bodhicitta, but the bodhisattva is also not attached. The bodhisattva is not attached to anything. The bodhisattva is simply performing the actions without abiding in any notion whatsoever, without attaching to the kind of actions that they perform, also to whom the actions are performed to, and also how people may react or receive, or how people may treat the bodhisattvas. So they are not attached to any of this. They're simply genuinely performing the actions to help save all sentient beings, without attaching to anything that they do, or even sentient beings. Because from the enlightened mind of the bodhisattvas, there is no more the separation between I and the sentient beings. There's no longer the notion of the I, the notion of the others, the notion of the sentient beings. They really just see the oneness in all things and all beings, and they simply just performing the actions to benefit sentient beings, but without attaching to anything. And they will also not become proud of what they do, and also they will not be affected by the suffering of all sentient beings. They simply have this great compassionate heart and the great bodhicitta to help save all sentient beings, but without abiding in any notion whatsoever. The Buddha said to Subhuti, all great bodhisattvas should subdue their minds in the following manner. Of all sentient beings, be they born of eggs, wombs, moisture, or transformation, or whether they have form or no form, I cause them to enter into nirvana without residual, liberating them. Thus, by liberating infinite, innumerable, limitless sentient beings, in reality, no sentient beings are liberated. And why is this so? Subhuti, if a bodhisattva has the notion of the self, the notion of others, the notion of sentient beings, or the notion of lifespan, then he is not a bodhisattva. Moreover, Subhuti, within this phenomenal world, a bodhisattva should practice giving without abiding in anything. This means that he should not give while abiding in form, nor should he give while abiding in sound, smell, taste, touch, or dharmas. Subhuti, a bodhisattva should not give while abiding in any notion whatsoever. And why is this so? If a bodhisattva gives without abiding in any notion whatsoever, then his merit will be immeasurable. 是 Buddhi. A Bodhisattva should abide in this teaching and this teaching alone. This is also called the wisdom of Prajna Paramita, the wisdom of Shunyata, the transcendent wisdom of emptiness. So we'll also discuss this a bit more in the near future. So I hope this helps. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Amitabha.